Millie Alcock plus Supergirl plus Devil's Advocate equals. Welcome back to the Bargain Collector. I'm Jocelyn Ramon Thinney. Come on in, kick your feet up, hit the like, and definitely hit the subscribe. So before we hop into the whole Millie Alcock, Supergirl, Devil's Advocate thing, first let me tell you about Subscriber Saturdays. On every Saturday, I'm going to show you titles that I decided not to add to my limited library, where I am simply going to do a drawing to allow you guys to win said titles. All you would have to do is, of course, be a subscriber and help us meet each one of our metrics. And every time we hit one of those metrics, I will do a drawing, draw a name, and whoever the lucky subscriber is, I will ship to you the film of your choice completely free. Okay, so for this first metric, we're trying to hit 100 subscribers. As of now, I don't even know how many we have. I know it's not 100. So if you help me get to 100 by hitting subscribe, all you'll have to do every Subscriber Saturday is just put down in the comment section which of the films from that video that you would like. And like I said, I'll pick one name and ship that movie out to you free of charge. Now, that said, I sat down to make this video. I don't have a script. I don't usually have a script, so I don't even know why I said that. But I sat down and I've listened to a few podcasts and I've seen a few YouTubers who are really just taking a dump on Millie Alcock, and they're saying that her personality is very reminiscent of Rachel Ziegler, and that ultimately she is going to completely torpedo the Supergirl film. And like I said, I want to play devil's advocate a little bit. And the reason why I say this is because I did a film, and it was the first time that I ever worked with a publicist. Before that, I was just me and whatever interviews I did. And I thank God that many of those places that did the interviews are out of business. I am very glad. They always say that those interviews, whatever you do, they live on the internet forever. And that's not true. All it takes is for one of these websites to go out of business. And as long as nobody copied it and reposted it somewhere else, it's dead. It's gone. So my first time working with a publicist, she instructed me on how best to approach questions from journalists, because it was my first time being interviewed by journalists whose their interviews would be something that people would see worldwide, because they have worldwide audiences. And so she had to prep me a lot on how to work with journalists to get the best interview and something that is catchy, it catches on, and it presents you in the best light and the project in the best light. And many of those things prevent you from being able to just answer off the cuff. You really have to take time and think about your responses and how your responses can be received. And I know a lot of people will say, well, she has a publicist and she should know, and da-da-da-da-da. But the truth is that Millie Alcock, even when she was on, what is that show with the dragons, House of the Dragons, she said some pretty not good things when she was being interviewed for that show, and she was younger. And so my guess is whatever it is, if she's had media training, it hasn't really stuck, and she's young. That part being said about a publicist working with her and most likely it's not sticking, let's take that part and put that right here. then there becomes this Rachel Zegler comparison where Rachel Zegler, in my opinion, she did really, really neuter any success that Snow White would have had. But it wasn't just her comments about not needing men or whatever. And I'll get to why I don't think that is in a second. I just want to put that to the side as well. I think that what she did was she frustrated people who were fans of the film already. These people who want their children to see the films that they enjoyed when they were younger and that they most likely shared with their parents, right? So it was a multi-generational film that Rachel Zegler was taking a crap on. So, and it was a kid-centered film. Your audience is more broad. I mean, it's specific because it's aimed at kids, but it's more broad because parents have to take their kids and yada, 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 yada. So her comments ticked off this group of people. And that's why the film torpedoed, or why she torpedoed the film, just boom, right? So we come back to some of the comments that she said about men and about a love story and not needing a love story and all that stuff. Okay. So then who would get offended by these comments? Well, one, men, right? I completely understand rah women. Like, I get it. Totally get it. She's a woman, right? I would hope she would be pro-woman. The problem is when you start being anti-male, right? Because now you're alienating the male audience. And then when you say this isn't a love story, well, kind of, yeah, it was. I mean, granted, we may not agree with, in today's sensibilities, what a love story was back then. We may not totally agree with everything, but there is the underlying thing of it being a love story. So then she starts alienating people who would have been going there for that aspect as well. In essence, she's shooting holes in the film, just shooting holes instead of being a sail for the film to catch wind and go. She's just shooting holes all in the sail, just boom, boom, boom. I don't see that as happening with Millie Alcock necessarily. What do I mean by that? Most of what she's saying is pro a lot of other things, not anti, right? So she's pro girls rule, boys drool, not the boys drool part, but certainly the girls rule part. Yeah, girls rule. And she is I don't know now. I will admit, I've only seen this from like one or two interviews of hers, and I can't tell whether these interviewers are trapping her with these questions. I can't tell, but they've started kind of getting her to be pro LGBTQ, right? Not saying she should be anti, but she's saying pro that. And I don't know if it's because of what people thought Brie Larson said during the whole build up of the Marvels, or was it the Marvels, or was it the Captain Marvel movie? It was one of the movies. I don't know. There was a build up and she said something that people misinterpreted, but didn't care that they misinterpreted it and just ran with whatever they thought she said. And it began to sour whatever projects that she was attached to. People just automatically hate it. Just boom, boom, I gotta hate it. And then came along Rachel Zegler, who was, she actually did say the things and it further ticked people off. And now a lot of these people are so sensitive to a woman's saying something that isn't pro male that they are not only just hoping for the film to fail, they are promoting it as a failure before anything has happened so that they can kind of manifest destiny. And it's unfortunate because the audience for a Supergirl film is primarily, let's face it, it's males. Superhero films are predominantly skewed towards males. If you get up and you start promoting things that are pro other things to a group of people that have been conditioned to believe you're anti-male, then these problems are going to start to occur. Now, she may have said some things that were anti-male. Please let me know. Please put them in the comments. But I personally haven't observed a single thing that she said that was anti-male. Again, I'm not a sensitive guy, so maybe that's it too. I'm not sensitive. So that could be part of it, but I haven't heard anything. I've heard, like I said, I think and two interviewers are part of the problem because they ask questions that unless like they let you feel comfortable so that when they ask the question, it corners you a bit, it throws you off, and you're answering more off the cuff than you probably would normally, but trying to say the right things. And you end up saying something completely out of left field that ticks people off. So I kind of give a little bit more, I give some fault to the interviewers for hitting her with a question that she's not prepared to answer in a way that's flattering. And you may ask, well, why do you even care? You're a bargain collector. You're a physical media collector. Well, I care because one, I want films to be successful. I'm a filmmaker, and if the film industry sucks, then you don't get to make movies, right? Now, granted, I've gotten to make a lot of more movies than a lot of my contemporaries, and I'm grateful for that, but I want to make a hell of a lot more. And if every film that's coming out is tanking, especially due to people misinterpreting what's being said, that impacts me. Plus, I love movies and I want to see movies, right? And eventually this movie comes to physical media, and hopefully hopefully it's great and they get to make another one. And, I'm always hopeful. I'm never pessimistic. I'm always hopeful that a movie is going to be great. I'm always hopeful that it's going to be something that's entertaining and rewatchable that I want to put in my library. I'm hopeful for that. So I'm hopeful this film is good. And unless Millie Alcock comes out and says, hey guys, if you're a male and don't go see the movie, like, unless she does that, then she hasn't said to males. I haven't heard her say that. Did I hear her say that some guys feel a weird ownership of women's bodies? Yeah, I heard it. I don't know what the hell that was, what it pertained to. I have no idea. And I associate what she said with a girl that's, what is she, 23? Maybe? I've met a lot of 23-year-old people in general, okay? If you've ever been 23, I'm pretty sure you can look back over some of the stuff you said and was like, dude, that was dumb. Why did I even say that? It happens. It happens. So I play devil's advocate and I say, what if we're being conditioned with, and I'm not saying it's intentional, but you're being conditioned to believe that if somebody doesn't come out and just say, hey, go see the movie, it's great. Unless they say that, or they go, oh, all men are great and I'm so grateful to be a part of a superhero movie that men go see and men can come see me. Like, unless they're saying some crap like that, y- like I believe we're being conditioned to believe they're anti-man. Nobody's anti-man. What is up with all the division? It's like everything has to be so divisive and so toxic. It's a freaking movie, and you can choose to see it or not. But to attribute something, I haven't seen it. Like I said, put it in the comments, but to attribute something to her that is something I haven't seen. So I wouldn't attribute it to her, but attribute something to her that may not be true, may not be at all what she intends. And then to not only pray for the film's downfall, but root for it and actively try to make it a reality. I find that more offensive than anything you think she said. So I look and I go, Millie Alcock plus Supergirl plus Devil's Advocate equals this. If you like the trailer, if you think the trailer's interesting, go see the movie. Then tell me what you thought about the movie. Who cares about the other stuff? Movie's supposed to be escapism, art at its best, to escape reality, right? Don't bring that into the movie. There's no place for it. It's a place of make believe inside the movie. Let that be it. Just go see the movie. Make up your mind if it's good or bad yourself. And don't try to destroy it for someone else. But that's all I got to say. Until next time, keep finding good films at great prices.